As we age, sleep often becomes more challenging, and many seniors find themselves waking up frequently or struggling to fall asleep. What I have discovered is that clutter, both in our homes and in our minds, plays a huge role in this. By embracing minimalism, I noticed that a simpler living environment made my nights much calmer. It wasn't about owning nothing, but about choosing only what added peace and comfort to my life. This shift allowed me to walk into my bedroom and instantly feel a sense of relaxation. Over time, the less clutter I had, the easier it became to drift off into sleep without restlessness. Creating bedtime habits rooted in minimalism also proved powerful. I began to remove unnecessary steps before sleep, focusing only on what truly mattered, like reading a calming book instead of scrolling through my phone. Simplifying my nighttime routine helped me fall asleep faster and with less worry. These habits didn't appear overnight, but through small, consistent changes, they became part of my lifestyle. I realized minimalism was not just about my home, it was about decluttering my habits too. Sleep improved gradually, reminding me that simplicity truly supports rest. Another important discovery was how lighting impacts sleep quality. I removed bright lamps and replaced them with softer, warmer lights. The environment instantly felt cozier, inviting me to slow down. Minimalism taught me to prioritize only the light that served a purpose, creating a peaceful space that signaled to my body it was time to rest. This small change brought remarkable results over the months. I not only slept better, but also felt less stressed in the evenings. When I first started simplifying, I also questioned my bedroom items. I kept only what was essential: a comfortable mattress, clean sheets, and a single bedside table. Removing distractions such as extra chairs piled with clothes or electronics collecting dust made the room more peaceful. Minimalism doesn't mean emptiness, but it means surrounding yourself with only what encourages well-being. Sleep became easier when my environment no longer carried the weight of excess. The beauty of minimalism for seniors is that it aligns perfectly with our stage of life. We no longer need as many things as before, and creating a restful home supports both body and mind. By focusing on fewer possessions and intentional habits, we build a lifestyle that naturally nurtures good sleep. For me, the journey was less about giving things up and more about gaining a better night's rest. It is in this quiet simplicity that sleep quality finds its true home. Minimalism also extends to the way we handle daily stress, which directly influences how well we sleep. I found that when my days were full of unnecessary commitments, my nights were restless. By simplifying my schedule and learning to say no more often, I gained mental space that carried over into bedtime. Sleep came easier because I wasn't overburdened with unfinished tasks. Seniors often carry decades of habits, but letting go of excess responsibilities can make a remarkable difference. A lighter daily load creates a smoother transition into rest. Another lesson was the importance of evening rituals. Minimalism encouraged me to focus on just 2 or 3 calming practices instead of a long, complicated routine. I chose deep breathing, gratitude journaling, and a warm cup of tea. These minimal habits became anchors that gently guided my body toward rest. Over time, the repetition trained my mind to associate them with sleep. What used to be a restless night slowly turned into a predictable pattern of calm. This simplicity provided consistency, which is something the body thrives on. I also noticed that technology played a large role in disrupting my rest. By removing unnecessary electronics from my bedroom, I eliminated distractions that once kept me awake. The minimalist approach of keeping only a clock and lamp allowed me to focus on sleep instead of screens. It was not easy at first to give up the habit of watching TV before bed, but with time, My mind adjusted. The quietness became a gift, and my sleep quality improved dramatically. Minimalism even changed the way I viewed comfort. Instead of filling my bed with multiple pillows and heavy blankets, I simplified it down to what truly supported my rest. This taught me that more is not always better. Having fewer, higher quality items made the space more restful. It was a reminder that comfort comes from intention, not excess. This simple shift brought both peace and better sleep. For seniors, adopting these minimalist principles doesn't require major lifestyle changes. Small adjustments in daily choices, like saying no to clutter, simplifying routines, and reducing screen time, can bring powerful results. Sleep becomes more restorative, and the nights become a place of healing rather than frustration. In this way, minimalism is not just a philosophy, it is a gentle companion to better sleep. Another area where minimalism supported my sleep was through mindfulness. By practicing awareness and presence, I decluttered my thoughts as much as I did my home. At first, my mind would race at night, thinking about everything I had to do the next day. But minimalism taught me to focus only on what truly mattered. Journaling before bed helped me set aside those racing thoughts. This habit created mental clarity and allowed me to drift off without the weight of tomorrow's worries. Minimalism also helped me appreciate silence. I once found it unsettling to go to bed without background noise, but over time I embraced quietness. By reducing auditory clutter, I gave myself space to hear the natural rhythm of my breath. This shift was profound because it allowed my body to truly relax. The less I filled my environment with noise, the more restful my nights became. Sleep also improved when I adopted gratitude as a nightly habit. Minimalism showed me that the smallest joys, like a clean bed or a gentle breeze, could bring the greatest peace. Focusing on gratitude shifted my attention away from what I lacked and toward what I already had. This emotional simplicity reduced nighttime stress. It was as though my heart felt lighter, making it easier to close my eyes and rest. Another important change was embracing consistency. I simplified my schedule by going to bed at the same time every night, even on weekends. It felt strange at first, but soon my body began to recognize the pattern. Minimalism is about rhythm and flow, and this consistency aligned my life with my body's natural needs. Predictability brought comfort, which in turn improved the depth and quality of my sleep. For seniors, building mindful habits through minimalism is an invitation to rest better. We may not control every aspect of aging, but we can shape our daily choices. When our minds are uncluttered and our hearts are grateful, sleep becomes a gentle part of life rather than a nightly struggle. In simplicity, we find peace, and in peace, we find rest. Physical space matters greatly when it comes to sleep, and minimalism transforms how we view our bedrooms. I used to believe a bedroom needed to hold many items to feel complete, but I realized it only added chaos. By reducing what I owned, the room became a sanctuary for rest rather than storage. The fewer items surrounding me, the more my body associated the space with peace. It was like creating a retreat inside my own home. Even the air in my room felt different once I embraced minimalism. With less clutter, it was easier to keep things clean and fresh. I opened windows more often and kept only plants that purified the air. This small change not only brightened the room, but also improved how I breathed at night. Seniors often overlook air quality, yet it plays a huge role in sleep. Minimalism naturally supports healthier air because the environment is simpler and easier to maintain. Another aspect was temperature control. I learned that too many heavy blankets trapped heat and made me restless. By simplifying my bedding, I could regulate temperature better. It was not just about having fewer items, but choosing the right ones. A single breathable blanket and comfortable sheets were enough to create balance. This intentional choice made my nights more restful, proving that minimalism applies even to comfort. I also paid attention to scents in my room. Instead of having multiple sprays, candles, and oils, I chose one calming lavender scent. This minimal approach reduced sensory overload while still giving me the benefit of relaxation. My brain soon linked the scent to bedtime, creating a soothing signal for rest. It was proof that one thoughtful choice could be more powerful than many competing options. Through these changes, my bedroom became a true place of rest. Minimalism showed me that simplicity in design, air, bedding, and even scent created the perfect environment for sleep. For seniors, this approach is easy to adopt because it does not require luxury or expense, only intentionality. Sleep thrives in simplicity, and our bedrooms should reflect that truth. Minimalism also influenced how I thought about health habits beyond the bedroom. What I consumed during the day directly impacted how I slept at night. By simplifying my diet and focusing on nourishing foods, I found that my body rested more easily. Heavy meals late at night used to disrupt my sleep, but adopting a lighter and more intentional eating style made bedtime smoother. Minimalism reminded me that even food choices affect rest. Another habit I embraced was gentle movement. Instead of filling my schedule with intense exercise, I simplified my activity to include daily walks and stretching. This minimalistic approach kept my body active without overwhelming it. Physical activity helped me fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Seniors often underestimate the power of light movement.